Glory to a higher, brothers and shalom, family. Blessings. Shalom, family. Glory to a higher. Blessings, my brothers and sisters. Shalom, family. We are the children of Israel. Shalom, man.
How does it feel to be chosen? Let the most out that I'm walking now. Dealing with sin, I'm smoking now. Let the most out for the clothing. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping. How does it feel to be chosen? Let the most out that I'm walking now. Dealing with sin, I'm smoking now. Let the most out for the clothing. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping. Walk the levels in my spirit. I know hypocrisy is scripted. God told me face, so I don't want to let, so I gave me this trial and friendships. Travel the earth just to look for my purpose, but guess what? I'm walking in Memphis. Lord, leave the sound, leave the stage, trying to stay on humble with the wicked. Try waking up my clothes, who won't sound, don't you? They don't want to hear it. Talking about I'm teaching, hey, that God loves. I knew that it was a Christian. Hoping one day I'm getting either my blessing, they the one who did it. Revelation 2012 with my ancestors, we all gonna keep. How does it feel to be chosen? Let the most out that I'm walking now. Dealing with sin, I'm smoking now. Let the most out for the clothing. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping.
It's beautiful. Glory to a higher, brothers and sisters. Shalom.
How does it feel to be chosen? Let the most out that I'm walking now. Dealing with sin, I'm smoking now. Let the most out for the clothing. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping. How does it feel to be chosen? Let the most out that I'm walking now. Dealing with sin, I'm smoking now. Let the most out for the clothing. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping. Walk the levels in my spirit. I know hypocrisy is scripted. God told me back, so I don't want to let, so I gave me this trial and friendships. Travel the earth just to look for my purpose, but guess what? I'm walking in Memphis. Lord, leave the sound, leave the stage, trying to stay on humble with the wicked. Try waking up my clothes, who won't sound, don't you? They don't want to hear it. Talking about I'm teaching, hey, that God loves. I knew that it was a Christian. Hoping one day I'm getting either my blessing, they the one who did it. Revelation 2012 with my ancestors, we all gonna keep. How does it feel to be chosen? Let the most out that I'm walking now. Dealing with sin, I'm smoking now. Let the most out for the clothing. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping. How does it feel to be chosen? Let the most out that I'm walking now. Dealing with sin, I'm smoking now. Let the most out for the clothing. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping. Laws and commandments, my keep right to heaven. I'm praising His name, I'm hoping. All my friends left me when I changed, but it's cool though. Family start talking like I don't know, but I do know. When you witness truth, gotta keep your sword, cause it's to show. Your people what the most I mean, but I gotta have proof though. Reading scriptures, precept upon precept, line upon line. Soon those scriptures come
Judah.
Bashim Mashiach Yahshua. Yeah.
Come on, family.
Let's talk about that. You can't kill us off, no matter how much you try. Although us in prison or BS, we still grow strong and alive. I don't know what you thought was the scriptures wrote what's on your mind. Said we could read, but we reading now. We thought you in your life. Damn, Jesus, now what Revelation 1 and 14 is revealed. You say it don't matter, but why put him white in church? I can't feel. My people look lost on this earth, and you service came to steal. Now we waking up, they saying we a hate group, man, be for real. We forever from the ancient to the future. As it's written, spacious flying, shooting fire, brimstones hitting, and I'm missing the elect of Israel. Get it? Being done to me, y'all in spirit. Edomites hate that we waking up, we laugh, but they're a piece. It's right here forever. What you thought? Even in Babylon, you can't get rid of us, even with cops, cause we died. We was here before and it won't stop. We are above, that's why they hide us. But we diamonds, we gon' pop out. It's right here forever. What you thought? Even in Babylon, you can't get rid of us, even with cops, cause we died. We was here before and it won't stop. We are above, that's why they hide us. But we diamonds, we gon' pop out.
They got stimulate to tease me. They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might desert me.
Shalom, family. All right. You're going in here in a moment to expound on the Feast of Esther. The Feast of Purim. That starts at Tuesday at sundown, going into Wednesday and Thursday. You're going in a moment, family. Not going to be long at all on her today. Just expounding on this so brothers and sisters have a little bit more understanding about the feast. Let's do it.
Real sister, shout out to my sis, yes, man. I know that I'm royal, you can check my records. Little bit of laws, we can clean, we don't want no chips. Israelites, I blow it soon, you gon' respect. Cause I'm descended from yours. I'm descended from yours. Cause I'm descended from yours. Look, check out my blue ribbon, still in Babylon. Mighty day Egypt here in Memphis. Over 3 and 8, we paying taxes for the city. They ask how I know, because I know it, plus it's scripted. I'm a melanin royal sister from the trenches. Babylon call us niggas, but my father called me princess. I don't have to show my ass, my modest got my fringes. You know we the sauce since the beginning. Don't come to us with business, come with facts. We not no Christians. We fighting for our laws. We make a beat, trying to get that ticket. Eat a mice, we got next show kingdom dropping this tilted. I know that I'm royal. You can check my records. The biblical laws, we get clean. We don't want no chips. It's real life, I blow it soon. You gon' respect it. Cause I'm just sitting from yours, sitting from yours. I'm just sitting from yours, sitting from yours. Cause I'm just sitting from yours, sitting from yours. I'm just sitting from yours, sitting from yours. I know that I'm royal, you can check my records. The biblical laws, we get clean, we don't want no chips. It's real life, I blow it soon, you gon' respect it. Cause I'm just sitting from yours, sitting from yours. I'm just sitting from yours, sitting from yours. Cause I'm just sitting from yours, sitting from yours. I'm just sitting from yours, sitting from yours.
All right, family. Let's go in. Let's see. Let's go in, family, to the Feast of Purim and read this, brothers and sisters. Glory to the Most High Higher. Giving praise and honor to the Most High Higher through His Holy Son Yeshua. Not going to be on her long, brothers and sisters, but I just want to expound on this about the Feast of Purim, so you brothers and sisters can have the understand how it was originated. Let's read it, family. We're going into the book of Esther. Let's see. Let's read from verse 1. We're going to read all these chapters, family. We're going to go ahead and just read all of them to get the fullness of what happened and how the Feast of was inaugurated, the Feast of Purim, which starts this coming Tuesday at sundown. Let's get it, family. It says, the King's Banquet. Esther chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus. This is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia over the 170 over 107 and 20 provinces. 2. That in those days when the king Osiris sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan, the palace. 3. In the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him. For when he, one moment, family. It says, verse 4, it says, when he showed the riches of his the glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellence, majesty, many days, even an 180 days. 5. And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan the palace, both unto great and small, even both unto great and small, 7 days in the court of the garden of the king's palace. 6 were white, green, and blue hangings, fastened with cords of fine linen and purple to silver rings, and pillars of marble, and beds were of gold and silver upon the pavement of red and blue and white and black marble. 7. And they gave them drink in vessels of gold, the vessels being diversed one from another, and royal wine in abundance according to the state of the king. 8. And the drinking was according to the law; none did compel. So the king did appoint to all the other officers of his house that they should do according to every man's pleasure. 9. Also Vasati, the queen, made a feast for the women, for the women in the royal house, which belonged to the king Ahasuerus. Says the heritage of this, says Queen Vasati's refusal. 10. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Haman, Bizatha, Harbania, Victor, and Abagasta, Zatar, and Carcas, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Osiris, the king. 11. To bring Vasati, the queen, before the king with the crown royal, to show the people and the princess her beauty, for she was fair to look on. 12. But the queen Vasati refused to come at the king's commandments by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him. 13. Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment. 14. and the next unto him was Kasina, Shethar, Admatha, Tarshish, Mers, Maries, Marcina, and Mimakan, the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face and which sat the first in the kingdom. 15. What shall we do unto the queen Vasati, according to the law, because she have not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains? 16. And Memucan answered before the king and the princes Vasati, and the queen have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in the provinces of the king Ahasuerus. 17. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes, when it shall be reported the king Ahasuerus commanded Vasati, the queen, to be brought in before him, but she came not. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and the Media say this day unto the king, unto all the king's princes, which have heard the deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. 19. If it be pleased the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vasati come no more before the king, a sorceress, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she. Shalom, shalom, Sister Natalia, blessings, family. Pray that you're having a great, wonderful, beautiful, blessed weekend, rest of the weekend, beautiful, blessed Sunday. Glory to the Most High. I'm reading from Esther chapter 1 to give the full background of how the queen, Esther came in about being queen, and how she came in about. Let me put my microphone down farther. One moment. How she came to be queen, and being in the king's queen. But we reading. I started from verse 1. I'm at verse 19 in Esther chapter 1, verse 19. I'm reading all the chapters, so you brothers and sisters can have the understanding of how Queen Esther became queen in the holy prince, the Persian prince, and how the feast inaugurator came about. So I'm reading all of them, so brothers and sisters can have the full understanding of how Esther became queen, became the queen, the king's queen in the Persian palace. But we at right now, I'm at Esther chapter 1, verse 19. I'm gonna read 19, verse 19 over. It says, if it please the king. Well, right now, what happened now, I'm gonna give you the background. What happened that the Persian king called his servants to bring Esther, not Esther, the queen Vasati to him, but she failed to come. She denied to come to the king, which was against the law of that of the nation of the queen of the king. She denied to come to him. So now they wanted what the king would do about this matter. So now we have Esther chapter 19 explaining what should be done to the queen. And now this we read in this verse 18, it says, was 18 or 17? Let me read from 17. It says, verse 17, chapter 1 of Esther 17 says, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto the women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes when it shall be reported. The king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought before him, but she came not. So she disobeyed the king when he sent for her to come unto him. And it says in 18, likewise shall the ladies of Persia and to Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard the deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath, all because since the queen done it, Queen Vashti did not come, then what she done is kind of giving it can lead off aspiration towards the other women in that nation to disobey their kings too, or their husbands. It says, if verse 19 says, if it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before the king. That's his queen, which was his wife, but she did not come to him when he called for her. It said, Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she. So right now, since Queen Asante did not come before the king as he commanded, as he sent for her, so now they want her to give her royal estate unto another lady or another woman that is better than her. So now verse 20 says, and when the king decreed which he shall make shall be published throughout all his empire, which it means be published for the whole kingdom of Persia, for it is great. All the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both to great and small. 21, and saying, please the king and the princes. And the king did according to the word of Memucan, and said, what? 22, for he sent letters unto all the king's provinces, into every province, according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, that it should be published according to the language of every people. See that? Let's read verse 2, chapter 2. It says, Esther, chosen queen. 1. After these things, when the wrath of King Ahasuerus was appeased, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what was decreed against her. 2. Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, let there be fair young virgins sought for the king. 3. And let the king appoint officers in all provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan the palace, to the house of the woman, unto the custody of Higi, the king's chamberlain, keeper of the woman, and let their things for purification be given them. Verse 4, and let the maiden which pleaseth the king be queen instead of Vasati. And the thing pleased the king, and he did so. Now it says, now in Shushan the palace there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jur, the son of Shemi, the son of Kish, a Benjamite. 6, who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity which had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away. 7, he brought up Hadash, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother, and she and the maid was fair and beautiful, whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took her for his own daughter. It says 8. So it came to pass when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, and when many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan the palace to the custody of Hegiah, that Esther was brought also unto the king's house to the custody of Hegiah, Haggai, keeper of the woman. And it says, verse 9, and the maid pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him, and he speedily gave her things for purification, like with such things as belongeth to her. The 7 maids which were met to be given her out of the king's house. So they gave her all the things that Vasati, which was the queen of this Persian king, they gave her all the things that she needed to purify herself, like doing her hair, dresses, and perfume, and all the stuff that she needs to purify themselves to be proven to be for the king to be chosen, for them to be chosen for the next queen. So this is what happened. It says, out of the king's house is why they're giving her all the things that she needed. And he prepared her and her maids unto the best place of the house of the women. 10, Esther had not showed her people nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it. 11, and Mordecai walked every day before the court of the woman's house to know how Esther did, and what should become of her. The reason I'm reading all these chapters, brothers, so you'll know what happened and how Esther was chosen to be the Persian king's queen. So we know because the Vasanthy, which was the king's queen, was called to come unto the king Asarius, and she denied to come, which was against the law of the land. Even now, the wife is supposed to honor the husband. That's why it tells you, husbands and wives, honor your husbands, right? And even the husband's supposed to love their wives, but the woman is supposed to honor their husbands, even into this day. But when some of these women now do not honor their husbands fully like they're supposed to, they came and got the spirit of Babylon on them, and not all women honor their husband all their wording. It says now, verse 12, when every maid's turn was come to go in to King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months, according to the manner of the women. For so were the days of their purifications accomplished, 2 with 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odor. See, that's perfume, and with other things to purify the women, dressing, clothes, jewelry, all whatever it was. This was a rich Persian king who had all types of sorts of things. Vasanti, which was the king's queen, had everything, but she disobeyed the king when she denied to come unto him when she was called by his servants to that the king wanted him to come unto him and wanted to see her, but she denied to come to him. So that was against the law then, and why that she has been replaced with another woman, which is going to be Esther. So we're going to read, and you'll know that Esther was chosen to be the next king, the queen, the Persian king's sorceress queen. It says 13. Then thus came every maiden unto the king, whatsoever she desired was given to her, to go with her out of the house of the woman into the king's house. 14. In the evening she went, and on the morrow she returned into the second house of the woman to the custody of Shashak, the king's chamberlain, which kept the concubines. She came in unto the king no more. See? Except the king delighted in her, and that she were called by name. 15. Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go in unto the king, she required nothing but what Haggai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the woman, appointed. And Esther obtained favor in the sight of all them that looked upon her. 16. So that means that she was very, very beautiful already. She didn't need, I guess she didn't need all the things that all the other women was given. So it says in 16, so Esther was taken unto the king Ahasuerus into his house, royal, in the 10th month, which is the month Tabiat, in the 7th year of his reign. 17. And the king loved Esther above all the women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vasanti. So Vasanti, which was queen at first, lost her queen estate, and it was given to Esther, which is from the tribe of Benjamin. 18. Then the king made a great feast unto all his princes and his servants, even Esther's feast. And he made a release to the provinces and gave gifts according to the state of the king. It says Mordecai discovers a plot. Okay, remember Mordecai is one of Esther's relatives that took her in as his own daughter. It says Mordecai discovers a plot. So let's read what the plot was. 19. And when the virgins were gathered together the second time, then Mordecai sat in the king's gate. 20. Esther had not yet showed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her and told her not to do. So Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, like as when she was brought up with him. Remember, Mordecai took her in as his own daughter. It says, 21, in those days while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlains, Bigthai, and Tyrus, of those which kept the door, were wroth and sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus. 22. And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it unto Esther, the queen, and Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name. 23. And when inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out. Therefore, they were both hanged on a tree, and it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king. Let's read chapter 3. The reason I'm reading all these, brothers and sisters, so you can have the background of how the Holy Feast of Purim was inaugurated, that we are ready to go into this coming Tuesday into the last day, which would be Thursday. So the reason why I'm reading all these, so you have the background of how Esther became queen and how the Feast of Purim was inaugurated. So we're reading chapter 3. We read 1 and 2. Now we have chapter 3. It says, Haman plots against the Jews. So we're going to find out who is this man Haman. 1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agag, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him, but Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. So it says Mordecai, but Mordecai bowed not. I mean, he didn't bow down to Haman, nor did him reverence him. So it means he didn't really recognize him or reverence him to be approved amongst King Ahasuerus. So Mordecai didn't really care for Haman. Verse 3, then the king's servants which were in the king's gate said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment? 4, now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matter would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew. See, Mordecai was a Jew, a Hebrew Israelite. It says 5. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, nor did him reverence, which means he didn't think of this man Mordecai as anything. So that's why he did not bow to him. Then was Haman full of wrath. 6. And he thought scorned to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews. Remember, this is our people. Haman sought to destroy the Hebrew Israelites that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. 7. In the first month, that is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they passed per, that is the lot before Haman, from day to day and from month to month, to the 12th month. That is month of the month of Dar. Right now, we in the month of Adar. See, brothers and sisters, the 12th month of the Enoch calendar is Adar. It says 8. And Haman said unto the king Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of the kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all the people. Neither keep they the king's law. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. 9. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasury. 10. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemies, the Hebrews' enemy. So the Bible, this word is saying that this guy Haman was the Hebrew Israelites' enemies, the Jews' enemies. So let's see what happened. And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also to do with them as it seemed good to thee. 12. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month, and there was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king, lieutenants, and to the governors that were over every province, and to the rulers of every people of every province, according to the written thereof, and to every people after their language, in the name of the king Ahasuerus was it written and sealed with the king's ring. 13. And the letters were sent by post unto all the king's purposes to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all the Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar. So this, what we get ready to go into, brothers and sisters, it says on the 13th day, which will be Tuesday, this happened, brothers and sisters. So Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, is when this took place, where it says, let's read it again, and the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill and cause to perish all the Jews, our Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which will be in the 12th month now, brothers and sisters. This is why this is called the Feast of Purim. It's about the remembrance of the Feast of Purim, of what happened. So Tuesday will be that day that Haman was wanting to kill all the Hebrew Israelites. It's going to be an anniversary Tuesday, brothers and sisters, which is the month of Adar, the 12th month, and to take the spoil of them for a prey. So let's read on. That's why I'm reading all this, brothers and sisters, so you all know why this happened and why we celebrate the Feast of Purim starting Tuesday at sundown, going into Wednesday and Thursday. So the 13th day, which this is talking about in this verse right here, is talking about this. The anniversary of that day is this coming Tuesday, when Haman was plotting to kill the Hebrew Israelites, the children, the old, the women, the men, all that, on that day. So let's read what happened. Let's read what happened. 14. The copy of this writing for a commandment is to be given in every province, was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day. See that? So they was ready to kill all our people on the 13th of this, the 12th month of the Enoch calendar, which would be Tuesday, brothers and sisters. The anniversary is that day. It's coming Tuesday. Is that the anniversary of the day that they were going to kill all our Hebrew Israelite people, or trying to kill them. Says 15. Those that was in the courts that was dwelling amongst the Persians at that time. It says 15. The post went out being hastened by the king's commandment, and the decree was given in Shushan, the palace. And the king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city Shushan was perplexed. Let's read chapter 4. We almost done, family. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more chapters be done. But I wanted to read all this to you, brothers and sisters, so you all know, you all Hebrew Israelites, and what happened to your ancestors and why we keep this holy feast that the Father of Heaven commanded us to keep. It says, Esther agreed to help the Jews. Brothers and sisters, you all need to hear this. And it is what we'll celebrate this once every single year, around the same time every year. It says, verse 1, Esther chapter 4, verse 1, when Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes and went out into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry. 2, and came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. 3, and every province, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning among the Jews, the Hebrews, and fasting and weeping and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes. 4, so Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told it her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved, and she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai and to take away his sackcloth from him, but he received it not. 5, when Esther called for Hatak, one of the king's chamberlains, whom he had appointed to attend upon her, and gave him a commandment to Mordecai to know what it was and why it was. 6, so Hatat went forth to Mordecai unto the street of the city which was before the king's gate. 7, and Mordecai told him of all that happened unto him, and of the sum of money that Haman had promised to pay the king's treasuries for the Jews to destroy them. 8, also he gave him the copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them. So there was a decree that was given at Shushan to destroy the Hebrew Israelites that dwell amongst them in Persia under the king, in the king's palace, to show it unto Esther and to decree it unto her, that to charge her that she should go in unto the king to make supplication unto him, that to make request before him for her people. 9, and Hatak came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. 10, again Esther spake unto Hatak and gave him commandment unto Mordecai. 11, all the king's servants and the people of the king's purposes do know that whatsoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into any courts, who is not called, there is one law of his to put them to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out of golden sceptre, that he may live. But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days. 12. And they told to Mordecai Esther's words. 13. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews or Hebrews. 14. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews or Hebrews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed, and whom knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Then Esther bade them in return Mordecai this answer. 16. Go, gather together all the Jews or Hebrews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. And I also and my maidens will fast likewise. And so this is happening. Esther told them to fast for 3 days, not to eat anything or drink. And it says, and so will I do unto the king. So even Esther fasted too, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. 17. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him. Let's go to chapter 5. It says Esther prepares a banquet. Let's read about this. 1. Now it came to pass on the 3rd day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house over against the king's house, and the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house over against the gate of the house. 2. And it was so, when the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight, and the king held out to Esther a golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of his scepter. 3. Then said the king unto her, what wilt thou, Queen Esther, and what is thy request? It shall be given thee to the half of the kingdom. 4. And Esther answered, if it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him. 5. Then the king said, cause Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther have said. So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared. So Esther, the new queen, prepared a banquet for Haman and the king Ahasuerus. So let's read what happened at the banquet. 6. And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition? So the petition, he asked Queen Esther, what is the petition? What is her request that she wanted him to perform for her? And it says, and it shall be granted to thee. And what is thy request? Even to the half of the kingdom, it shall be performed. So he said, in even half of the kingdom, it shall be performed. So whatever Esther asked of her king, Ahasuerus, was going to be granted to her. So let's see what Esther's request was. We read on and found out what the request was that she requested of her king, Ahasuerus. Let's read and find out what that request was. Verse 7. Then answered Esther and said, my petition and my request is 8. If I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition or my request, is what it means, to perform my request, right? Let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them, and I will do tomorrow as the king have said. It says Haman, the wicked Haman. This man Haman is an enemy to the Hebrew Israelites, was planning to hang Mordecai. Now he plans to hang Mordecai. Let's see what happened to this Haman. Remember, Mordecai was a Hebrew Israelite. So let's see what happened. 9. Then went Haman forth that day, joyful and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, that he stood not up, nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai. But he hated Mordecai because Mordecai was a Hebrew Israelite. It says 10, nevertheless, Haman refrained himself, and when he came home, he sent and called for his friends and Koresh, his wife. 11, and Haman told them of the glory of his riches and the multitude of his children and all the things wherein the king had promoted him, and how he had advanced him above the princes and servants of the king. 12, Haman said, moreover, ye Esther, the queen, did let no man come in with the king unto the banquet that she had prepared but myself, and tomorrow I invited unto her also with the king. 13, yet all this availeth me nothing, so long as I see Mordecai the Jew of the Hebrews sitting at the king's gate. 14, then said Koresh, his wife, and all his friends unto him, let us gallows be made of 50 cubits high, and tomorrow speak thou unto the king that Mordecai may be hanged thereon. Then go thou in merrily with the king unto the banquet. And the thing pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made. 6. We're almost done, brothers and sisters. The king honors Mordecai. Verse 1. Esther chapter 6, verse 1. On that night could not the king sleep, and he commanded to bring the book of records of the chronicles, and they were read. They were read before the king. 2. And it was found written that Mordecai had told the Bigthana and Taris, 2 of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the door, who sought to lay hands on the king Ahasuerus. 3. And the king said, what honor and dignity have been done to Mordecai for this? Then said the king's servants that minister unto him, there is nothing done for him. 4. And the king said, who is in the court? Now Haman was come into the outward court of the king's house to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him. 5. And the king's servant said unto him, behold, Haman standeth in the court. And the king said, let him come in. So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, what shall be done unto the man whom the king delighted to honor? Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do honor more than to myself? 7. And Haman answered the king, for the man whom the king delighted to honor. 8. Let the royal apparel be brought, which the king used to wear, and the horse that the king rided upon, and the royal crown which is set upon his head. 9. And let this apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man with all whom the king delighted to honor, and bring him on horseback through the street of the city to proclaim before him, thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delighted to honor. 10. Then the king said to Haman, make haste and take the pearl and the horse, as thou hast said to do even to Mordecai the Jew. See, the king of Sorcerers said, do this to Mordecai, which was the Hebrew, that sitteth at the king's gate. Let nothing fail of all that thou hast spoken. See that? So the king of Sorcerers honored Mordecai, the Hebrew, that sitteth at the king's gate. Said, let nothing fail of all that thou hast spoken. So look what happened, family. It says, verse 11, then took Mordecai the pearl and the horse and arrayed Mordecai and brought him on horseback through the street of the city and proclaimed before him, thus shall it be done unto the man whom the king delighted to honor. See that? So Osiris honored Mordecai, the Hebrew Israelite, that dwelt amongst his courts or his palace. And 12 said, and Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to do his house mourning and having his head covered. Look at that. Haman didn't like that, family. It says 13, and Haman told Zareth, his wife, and all his friends everything that had befallen him. Then said his wife, men and Zareth, his wife, unto him, if Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews or Hebrews, before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him. See that? His wife told him that Haman would not prevail against Mordecai, which is the Hebrew. It said, if Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews of the Hebrews, before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him, but shall surely fall before him. She warned him. His own wife warned Mordecai what would happen if he tried to do anything against Haman. It says, Esther reveals Haman's plot. See? Esther reveals Haman's plot. 14, and while they were yet talking with him, came the king's chamberlains and hasted to bring Haman unto the banquet that Esther had prepared. See that? Let's read chapter 7, verse 1. So the king and queen came to banquet with Esther and with Esther the queen. 2. And the king said again unto Esther on the second day at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed, even to the half of the kingdom. Look at that. Again, King Ahasuerus asked Esther, what is her petition? What is her request? And it shall be granted. Let's see what the request of Esther was. Verse 3, Esther chapter 7, verse 3. Then Esther the queen answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition and my people at my request. 4. For we are sold, and my people to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish. But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue, although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage. 5. Then the king Ahasuerus answered and said to Esther the queen, who is he? And where is he that does presume in his heart to do so? So Haman, remember, brothers and sisters, look, this is where it gets good. Haman was plotting to kill the Hebrew Israelites and plotting to kill Mordecai. And the request of, let's read 4 again and see what the request of Esther was. Remember, the Israelites that dwelt amongst the king's palace was her people, was Hebrew Israelites. So let's see what her request says. So for we are sold. Let's read from 3 again. It says, then Esther the queen answered, said, I have found, let's read from 4. From 2. It said, the king said again unto Esther on the second day at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted thee. And what is the request, thy request? And it shall be performed, even to the half of the kingdom. Verse 3. Let's see what Esther said to her kings. And then Esther, the queen, answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given me and my petition and my people and my request. 4. For we are sold, and I and my people to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish. But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue, although the enemy, she said, the enemy, which is Haman, could not countervail the king's damage. She said the enemy. So what did King Ahasuerus say to Esther after she said this? Then the King Ahasuerus said what? Then the King Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther, the queen, who is he? See that? And where is he? See? That doeth presume in his heart to do so. So the king, after Esther had said this to Ahasuerus says, then the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther, the queen, who is he? And where is he? Remember, this person that King Ahasuerus put amongst him to be amongst them as one of his leaders, one of his best men, which was Mordecai. So Mordecai was partnered against the Queen Esther's people. So it says the king and then the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther the queen, who is he and where is he that doeth presume in his heart to do so, or to do these things that she said? 6. Then Esther said, the adversary, the enemy is this wicked Haman. See? Oh my goodness, she revealed to him. She told her husband, the king, that the person that wished to do this evil, to harm her and her people, Esther said at the banquet, she said, and Esther said, the adversary and the enemy. See, remember she called him the enemy in verse 4. It says, for we are sold in my people to be destroyed, to be slain, to perish. But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue. Although Queen Esther said the enemy could not countervail the king's damage. And then again, verse 5, the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther the queen, who is he and where is he that doeth presume in his heart to do so? In 6 verse, Queen Esther said, and Esther said, the queen said, the adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman. Haman was one of the best men of his chambers, one of his best men that he just now, not long ago, honored to be one of his best men. And said, then Haman was afraid before the king. See, and said, after Esther said this, she said, and Esther said, the adversary and the enemy is this wicked Haman. And see what the Most High, see what the Most High had done. And then it said, and then Haman, the wicked Haman, this Gentile said what to say. Then the wicked Haman was afraid before the king and the queen. Big trouble for Haman. Let's see what happened to Haman. It says Haman is hanged. Haman is hanged. Right? 7. And the king arising from the banquet of wine in his wrath against Haman, right, went into the palace garden. And Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther, the queen, for he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king. Woo! 8. Then the king returned out of the palace garden into the place of the banquet of wine, and Haman was fallen upon the bed whereon Esther was. Then said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house? As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face. His soldiers covered Haman's face. And what? And Ahabanan, one of the chamberlains, which is one of his keepers of the gates of the Persian palaces of the place where they was dwelling, said before the king, behold, also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai. He made this to kill Mordecai and hang his head. So let's see what happened to these gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman made for Mordecai, which was a Hebrew Israelite, who had spoken good for the king, standing in the house of Haman. Then the king said, hang him thereon. The king said, hang Haman thereon. And what? 10. So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he prepared for Mordecai. Then the king's wrath pacified. Let's read on. What happened in verse 8? Esther saved the Jews. Verse 1. On that day did King Ahasuerus give the house of Haman and the Jews enemy to Esther the queen. So all Haman's people, all his men that was with him, was given to the house of the Israelites and destroyed them. It said, on that day did King Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, which is Haman's people, all his army, his soldiers that was with him, the Jews. He give them to the Jews, and what? They destroyed them. Our Hebrew Israelites killed them, destroyed them. It said, let's read on. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews, enemy, unto Esther the queen, and Mordecai came before the king for Esther and had told what he was unto her. And 2, and the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it to Mordecai, the Hebrew Israelite, right? And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman. See that? 3, and Esther spake again before the king and fell down at his feet and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman and the Agagite and his device that he had devised against the Jews or the Hebrews, Esther's people. And it says, 4, then the king held out the golden scepter toward Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king. 5, and said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I'll be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews or the Hebrews, Esther's people, which are in all the king's provinces, right? 6, how can I endure to see the evil that shall come upon unto my people, or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred? 7, then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen and to Mordecai the Jew, behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews. 8, write ye also for the Jews, as it liketh you, in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring may no more reverse. 9, then were the king's scribes called at that time in the 3rd month, that is the 7th month, that is the month Sivan, on the 3 and 20th day thereof. And it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews and to the lieutenants and the deputies and rulers of provinces which are from India to unto Ethiopia, and 127 provinces unto every province according to the writing thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their writing and according to their language. 10. And he wrought in the king Assyria's name, and sealed it with the king's ring, and sent letters by post on horseback, and riders on mules, camels, and young dromedaries. 11. Wherein the king granted the Jews which were in every city to gather themselves together and to stand for their life, to destroy and to slay and to cause to perish all the power of the people and province that would assault them, both little ones and women. See, and to take spoil of the prey for them for prey. So there was a decree for the Hebrew Israelites to slay all those that was plotting to kill them, that was against them, to perish all the power of the people and province that will assault them. See, both little ones and women, and to take the spoil of them for prey. Our people don't know that these nations was destroyed if they try to come against us when we kept the commandments. And let's see, 12. Upon one day in all provinces of the king Assyrius, namely upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is Tuesday, brothers and sisters, which is the month Adar. That's Tuesday, brothers and sisters. The 13th of the 12th month is Tuesday. It says the 13th, verse 13. The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that the Jews should be ready against that day to avenge themselves on their enemies. See that? On the 13th day, this happened on the 13th day, brothers and sisters, which is Tuesday. The anniversary of that day is the true day of their anniversary is Tuesday. 14. So the posts that rode upon mules and camels went out, being hastened and pressed on by the king's commandment, and decree was given at Shushan the palace. 15. And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white, and with a great crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple. And the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad. 16. The Jews had light and gladness and joy and honor. See that? 17. And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day, and many of the people of the land became Jews. Look at that. It says, and many of the people of the land became Jews. They became Hebrew Israelites, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them. Glory to the Most High. Woo! Let's read verse 9, chapter 9. The Jews destroyed their enemies. Now, it says now, verse 1, Esther 9, chapter 1, Esther 9, verse 1, it says, now in the 12th month, that is the month of Adar, on the 13th day, which is this coming Tuesday, brothers and sisters. Remember what we're talking about. It says, let me read again. Esther chapter 9, verse 1. Now on the 12th month, that is the month of Adar, which we are in the book of Enoch calendar right now. This is the month, the 12th month. Tuesday will be on the 13th. Will be the 13th. It says, on the 13th day of that same, when the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution, in the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them, though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews have ruled over them that hated them. Look at that. 2. The Jews gathered themselves together in the city throughout all the provinces of the king Assyrius to lay hands on such as sought their hurt, and no man could withstand them. For the fear of them fell upon all people. Look at that. 3, and all the rulers of the provinces and the lieutenants and the deputies and the officers of the king helped the Jews because of the fear of Mordecai fell upon them. Look at that. 4, for Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater. 5, thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the smoke of the sword, and slaughtered and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them. 6, and in Shushan the palace the Jews slew or slayed and destroyed 500 men. Look at that. This happened on the anniversary, brothers and sisters. This Tuesday that the Hebrews, our Israelite ancestors, slew and destroyed and did what they would to those that hated them by the commandment of the favor of commandment of the king, the Persian king, the Persian king, Ahasuerus commanded the Jews, which they found favor in King Ahasuerus' King Cyrus's pleasure, because what Haman done to plot to kill them. Says, thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the smoke of the sword, with the stroke of a sword, and slaughtered destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them. This day that happened is coming. The anniversary of the day that happened is this Tuesday, brothers and sisters. So that's why we go in at Tuesday at sundown. We the next day we started celebrating our victory. It says, and in Shushan the palace the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men, and Pashan Data and Daphan and Aspata, 8, and Patrata and Adalia and Aradata and Parmasata and Rarisata, Arisai and Adia and Vajezata. And what? And 10, verse 10, the 10 sons of Haman, and the 10 sons of Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the enemy of the Jews, slew they. The Hebrew Israelites slew the 10 sons of Hammedatha and Haman, Haman's sons. But on the spoil laid not their hand. 11. On that day, the number of those were slain in Shushan at the palace was brought before the king. 12. And the king said unto Esther, the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan the palace, and the 10 sons of Haman. What have they done in the rest of the king's purposes? Now what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. Or what is thy request further? So he said, what do you request further, Queen Esther? And this shall be done. 13, then said Esther, if it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan to do tomorrow. It says, let's see, the next day, the next thing, the king Ahasuerus asked, what is your further request? Your quest further. Since they already killed 500 men in Shushan in the palace. Then Queen Esther said, if it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews or Hebrews which are in Shushan to do tomorrow also according this day decree, and let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon gallows. So she told her husband Ahasuerus, her further request was let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon gallows as Haman was hanged. So Haman was hanged and his 10 sons was hanged. It says, verse 14, and the king commanded it so to be done. And the decree was given at Shushan that, and they hang Haman's 10 sons on gallows. 15. And the Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day, also of the month Adar, and slew 300 men at Shushan on the 14th day. They said on the 14th day, also of the month Adar, they killed 500 men on the 13th day. Then they killed uh, 300 more men on the next day of the 14th, which will be Wednesday. It said, for the Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day, also of the month Adar, and slew 300 men at Shushan, but on the prey they laid not their hand. 16. But the other Jews that were in the king's provinces gathered themselves together and stood for their lives and had rest from their enemies, and slew of their foes 70 and 5,000. Oh my goodness. They slew 70 and 5,000 people, but they laid not their hands on the prey. So altogether they slew their foes who was against them. They slew of their foes 70 and 5,000 people. 75,000 people they slew and killed them, brothers and sisters, on this day. But they laid not their hands on the prey. 17. On the 13th day of the month Adar, and on the 14th day of the same rested day, and made it a day of feasting and gladness. So all this was done on the 13th and 14th day, where they killed all the enemies that was against them at Shushan, brothers and sisters. It says 18, but the Jews that were at Shushan assembled together on the 13th day, on the 14th day, and on the 15th day of the same, they rested and made it a day of feasting and gladness. 19, therefore the Jews of the villages that dwelt in unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month Adar a day of gladness and feasting, and a good day, and of sending portions one to another, which they made gifts. They brought gifts for others, brothers and sisters. And when I get to Esther chapter 9, verse 20, it says, the Feast of Purim inaugurated. And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king of Sorcerers, both nigh and far. 21, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar, the 12th month we in, and the 15th day of the same yearly, right? Every year we're supposed to keep the Feast of Purim, brothers and sisters. 22, as the day were in, the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned into them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and sending portions to one to another, and gifts to the poor. See, we're supposed to give gifts. That day we're supposed to give gifts. Give gifts to the poor, brothers. One moment. One moment, family. Coming right back. So during the Feast of Purim, brothers and sisters, we are supposed to go out, or somebody that needs a gift, whether it be socks, someone that might need maybe some food. That can be a gift. You give uh, a gift to someone that you know that's in need. So when I did this last year, I had a brand new coat that I bought. Never had worn, still in the plastic, brothers and sisters. I went and gave a coat to someone that I know. That I just went out and gave this coat to a guy I know, brand new coat that I bought that I never worn. So I gave it to this guy that I know I seen over here by my house by this Dizzy Wiz hamburger place. So during this feast, and you at least go give someone something, man. And sending out and sending portions one to another and gifts and gifts to the poor. So go give a gift to someone that you know that's in need, or to the poor. Uh, give a gift to someone. So I'm gonna try my best to give a gift to someone uh, on that day of the feast, either on the 14th or the 15th. I'm gonna find something to go give someone. And it says 23, the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them, because, verse 24, Haman the son of Mattatha, the Agite, the enemy of all the Jews, had advised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast pur, that is the lot, to consume them and to destroy them. 25. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews or Hebrews, should return upon his own head, and that he and his sons should be hanged on gallows. So Haman and all his 10 sons was hanged and killed and hanged on gallows, which is a spike, which is a big old tall spike. 26. Therefore, they called these days Purim after the name of Pur. Therefore, for all the words of this letter and of what which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them, 27, the Jews ordained and took upon them and upon their seed and upon all such as joined themselves unto them, so as it should not fall, that they would keep these 2 days according to the writing and according to their appointed time every year. So we're supposed to keep this Feast of Purim once every year, brothers and sisters, which is starting Tuesday at sundown. So all the carnage and all the destruction that they did to the enemies that was amongst them, that did not like them, that hated them, they did all this in 2 days, which on the 13th and 14th, and then they feasted, brothers and sisters. So every year we are commanded to keep the Feast of Purim every year, brothers and sisters, around this time. It says 28, and that these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation and every family, every province, and every city, and that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Jews or Hebrews, nor the memorial of them perish from their seed. See? Then Esther, verse 29, the queen, the daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai, the Jew, wrote with all authority to confirm this second letter of Purim. 30. And he sent the letters unto all the Jews to the 120 and 70 provinces of the kingdom of Cyrus with words of peace and truth. 31 to confirm these days of Purim in their times appointed, according to as Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had joined them, and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed the matters of fasting and their cry. 32 and the prayer of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book. Last chapter. It's only 3 verses. Esther chapter 10, verse 1. And the king Assyrius laid a tribute upon the land and upon the isles of the sea. 2. And all the acts of his power and of his might and the declaration of the greatness of Mordecai were unto the king advanced him, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the king of Media and Persia? 3. For Mordecai, last verse, for Mordecai, the Jew or the Hebrew, was next unto King Assyrius and great among the Jews or Hebrews, and accepted of the multitude of his brethren, seeking the wealth of his people and speaking peace to all his seed. That concludes our Feast of Purim study, brothers and sisters. But also, one moment. In the 1611 King James Bible, there's also additional part to Esther. But you can go ahead and go read it on your own, brothers and sisters. So actually, it's only 10. There's actually 10 more verses after chapter 10. If you read the book of Esther, the additional part to Esther in the King James Apocrypha, after you get, it's got all the books in there. It's got all the chapters from all the way from chapter 1 to all the way to chapter 22. Now you brothers and sisters can go read the rest of the chapters, which will be, it's got all the first chapters that's in this book of this Bible right here. But then there's 12 more chapters to this story. But we stopping here, brothers, so you all can go read that on your own. But I just want to give you the breakdown of what happened to how this feast was inaugurated, a Feast of Purim. So once again, brothers and sisters, this coming Tuesday at sundown, we're going into our Holy Feast of Purim. We are commanded to keep it, and please try not to work on this day that we're not supposed to work on our holy feast days. So let the Most High bless you and keep you. We are the children of Israel, brothers and sisters. And let's play out to a couple of more videos.
Warriors. Here. And black. She. I don't want no. Yeah. I don't want no beef. Look, I'm a homebody, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even finna be in these streets like that. I ain't even gonna play like that. I got children. Y'all need to start thinking that way for real, you know what I'm saying? For the experience I've been through, man, y'all need to chill out here, you hear me? I'm not in the streets. Y'all don't wanna, you know what I mean? Catch no case out here, man. Be yourself, you hear me? And put on a goddamn dress, man. Stop shutting your ass, man. Put on a goddamn dress. Judge me, you won't get judged. You hear me? I'm not perfect, man. I'm not in the street. I'm just laid back. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. You know what I mean? Don't point the finger at me. I won't point the finger at you. I don't even judge people no more. Yeah, she.
Miss Judah.
And then I saved hundreds with Liberty Mutual.
High, I know your name now. A higher shot, a higher I feel. Jumped in the game now. If you ain't come a slave cargo ship, then who's you? Cause I've been reading my Bible lately and found out he's the real dude. They lying, they ain't telling us the truth. Elder gave me the game and he showing me the proof. He said, brother, who was you? It took me to do the right of me. Man, that's born and sober, spiritual side of me. I know you tried to die for me. Ain't know you was intimate. Calibrating Sabbath and lying to us religiously. And I don't appreciate none of that. I went to Catholic school. They ain't talking nothing about Deuteronomy 28:60. They lying. So fucking baby, I denounce that. Catholicism, I denounce that. That white dude that called Jesus, yeah, boys, yeah, I denounce that. I got heads where my house at, scripture where my mouth at. A Romo, I make it dance like David, so flex me rock that. Jesus still a soldier for the most high. Now I keep a sword next to my knife. Preachers modern day Pharisees, acting so divine. I would not thought crime sinners, so with sinners I die. You can get the politicking with the pimps and thugs. Yeah, I relate to them, then I give them the word. The first thing I tell them, Christ, he look just like us. They leave the devil feeling Satan got a Jew and the multitude is blind. Israelites be blind as mice. Following the way of heathens. It's my enemy of mice. I ain't talking down the nation, but they supposed to follow you. St. John 4:22. Salvation is of the Jew. Babylon to my truth. Yeah, I had to read that too. Now I sound like the Shia Law. Yeah, they know not what they do. The church, they think I'm crazy. The pastor trying to save me by giving me the one-way ticket to Hades. Elder recall. I'm sticking to the truth that every man's a liar. I'm sticking to the truth that every man's a liar. I'm sticking to that word that every man's a liar. Yeah, shout, yeah, out of Judah, hold up. Hand me my black ruler. Yeah, it's time for me to go in. Coming from the tribe of Judah. They talking about hands up, don't shoot. A black dude kill, black spec job, don't shoot. A white dude kill, black spec job, don't lose. Shout, you looking at us like a dog, please, dang fool. He said, I know. Take me out this world, I don't want it no more. Ephesians 1:8, we were saved by grace, but not through ourselves, it was a gift from our life. Hands up, hands through your shame. Studying that word, the truth ain't no liar. Look me in my face and tell me I'm lying. You thought I was a lamb, so I'm a lion. Survival, never leave without a Bible. Always keeping that sword with me, I swing in front of my rivals. I step to you, ain't scared of you. Real Judah, we the real Jews. Jewish, I ain't heard of you. Oh yeah, that's right, they're converted dudes. I laugh cause it's funny. All y'all really concerned with is money. When you shot your return, y'all gon' burn in that money. Cause we get that last laugh, that's why it's funny. Hold up, a little bit of that wine. No, I'ma take a few steps and put it down. I ain't trying to become no wine, no. Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. We got to, cause of how you told us. Thank y'all for listening. Yo, PZ, we did it. All praise to the Most High. We kept it trail and true. Righteous one is the class. Now here come righteous too. I'm gone. Okay, my Judah, my Benjamin, my Ephraim, Zebulun, Asher, my Levites, my Manasseh, my Naphtali, my Issachar, Simeon, Reuben, my Gadites. I do this for the 12 tribes. But I 4-5 pack for the third eye. That's Yes, I love it. They got my kind, but my people know we go right. You know what? I feel like, reprobate mind makers, you don't want to throw up. Just got you counting like a deadbeat dad, cause that nigga never show up. But my father, he could be your father, cause you see my father, he always there. We don't call him Yahweh, we don't call him Abba, we don't kiss no cops, but we ain't with that dead, and you freaky, she freaky. All of y'all, man, y'all freaky. Walk around the stone and go and kiss the stone, man. You seen the stone, man, y'all freaky. It's how you come out like gon' kiss it no more. But soon after y'all gon' be kissing the floor. The first begot of the most high, you guarantee, man, he ain't raise up no hood. They make back look like Harry Potter, then took up posters in their synagogues. Warlocks, we call them doctors in Jehovah. In their God, turning their black cape from a white coat. Sucking out the spirit like it's like Pope. They say vaccinations gonna change the nation. Now your son go to school in that trench coat. I tried to be righteous, fell off a few times, but got back up despite it. Get a high on my bar, no paper, no pen, circumcised, I don't write it. You can see it when you go somewhere, make life will feel like a cooler. Signing out this peace from the seed of Jacob. Real shooter.
Let's get one more, family. Let's get one more.
Switch to Chrome to protect yourself from malware, so you can surf with.
How you come first when you last? It's all about who last. Going through it, coming back. It ain't about no bag. You could spin it, run a task till you be on your last. Prayers up in the air. Breaking the mold, needing some self-control. The system that's got in the hole, world in the hole. Don't act like you don't know the things he deliver you from. Each and every day you can count your blood, striving every day to make it up to heaven. Do my dance, I'm deaf, no devil. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. Do your dance on the day. Do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. Do your dance on the day. Do your dance on the day. Every time they be seeing me coming, it ain't from me that these shit be running. I'm saying 1,000, you saying 100. Put in all the time, work. All the time I be eternally searching. Put in overtime, gotta put work. Staying on my grind, working out at 9, 24 hours, even when I'm tired. People close my eyes, even in the night, and dream of fighting like Tyson with a right on top of money. And I'm struggling in the fight, yeah, strength like open doing job. It's an easy thing, he be doing it on a regular. He here, bro, just to him to his schedule. Do a dance on the day. For his people, he don't play. I ain't taking no nay. All I wanna hear is yay. Do my dance on the day. For his people, he don't play. I ain't taking no nay. All I wanna hear is yay. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. Do your dance on the day. Do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. Do your dance on the day. Do your dance on the day. Do my dance on the day. Where I'm from, we don't play. Coming straight out that A. Still love, we straight. Do my dance on the A. That's what my partner them say. Fighting in your mind. We call it spiritual play. Jump on your mind. Help it come quick. Bring on the dime. You know who I run with. Then I keep you fine. Remedy come when I'm saying around time. Delivery come quick. I have another time. The Lord just handle it. Ain't because of mine. Saying my own shit. There's on the ground. The devil's under it. Overcoming mind. Calling on mindset. Overcoming mind. Calling mindset. Trying to get rid of it till there ain't nothing left. Nah, but we you fully your thoughts, keep it removing. Look what you're doing, no time for losing. Do it my duty, do it my dance. First in the movement, first in the movement. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. Do your dance on the day. Do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. First you praise, and then you do your dance on the day. Do your dance on the day. Do your dance on the day. What? That boy did it.
Brother Zakwa, a highest warrior standing up, family. Brothers and sisters, shalom. Have a beautiful, blessed Shabbat, Feast of Purim, Tuesday. Now you have all the information you need, brothers and sisters, for you to keep the feast. And that you brothers and sisters have now the full understanding how the Feast of Purim was inaugurated. You have it, the information now. So bless you, brothers and sisters. Tuesday, sundown, we're going into the Holy Feast of Purim. We're going into the Feast of Purim. Bless you, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Say, prayed up. We are going to Zion. Shalom, Sister Natalia. Have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed rest of your Feast of Purim. And be strong. Love you, sis. And we'll be sending you some more videos. During the Holy Feast, is one thing I do love to do is relax, look out the window, watching the trees and birds. And also, another thing is watching biblical movies, family, biblical knowledge. Bless you, Sister Natalia. See you this coming Shabbat Sabbath day, which we will be finishing up. Excuse me. The second part to endure to the end. Bless you, Sister Natalia. Stay strong, sis. Love you very much. Keep strong. Stay fast on the Most High's word. You are a true blessing to the Most High. So let the power of the Most High bless and keep you and continue to be blessed. Have a great rest of your evening and rest of your day and a blessed week this coming week. Know that many people will be working, going back to work Monday. Remember to keep the Feast of Purim. It's only 2 days, which will be Tuesday at sundown into Wednesday and Thursday is the last day. When the sun goes down Thursday, we close out our Feast of Purim. Glory to the Most High. Bless you, Sister Natalia, and pray that you are enjoying your movies, Sister Natalia. I will be sending some more here soon today. I don't send today. I might try to send. I probably will find something to watch and send you. Also, Sister Natalia, have you ever seen the movie with Denzel Washington called The Book of Eli? If you have not seen that, I can send it to you. It's called The Book of Eli. Okay, I'll find it and send it to you, sis. Matter of fact, I found it and sent it to you. It's pretty good. And it's based on the last book of Enoch. It's based on the last book that the world would try to, it's based on a future that the world, there will only be one book left for the whole earth. But it's called the Book of Enoch. I'll send it to you, Sister Natalia. Love you, sis. Stay prayed up. Stay fast on the Most High's word. It's pretty decent. It's good. It's a decent movie, and I will send it to you. Much love, Sister Natalia. Love you. Shalom and peace to you and family and all those scattered through the four corners of the earth. Let the Most High bless and keep you. Stay fast and do what? Keep the commandments of the Most High. And through His Holy Son Yeshua, praises to the Father of heaven. Shalom, sis. Blessings, family. Shalom. Closing out. See y'all this coming Shabbat. Have a beautiful, blessed feast. Reach out to me anytime you need to. Anybody who needs to reach out to me on the channel, you can reach out to me at my my Gmail. One moment, family. Bless you, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Have a great, wonderful, beautiful, blessed rest of your day, Sister Natalia. And see you next Shabbat. Reach out to me anytime you want. I will be relaxing during the Feast of Purim, eating, snacking, and enjoying the feast and commemorating. And even in this last 2 or 3 days, I'm going to be trying to bring awareness to wherever I go and travel to bring the awareness of my brothers and sisters to come back to commandments, statutes, laws, to keep the holy feast of the Most High. Glory to the Most High, brothers and sisters. Remember, we are the children of Israel, and we must keep the holy feast of the Most High, which starts this coming Tuesday again, and sundown Tuesday going into Wednesday and Thursday is the Feast of Purim. And remember, get a gift for someone, pass out a gift to someone you know that's needing a gift. It says pass out a gift to the poor. So I will find someone that I might see, or try to find someone to pass out a gift to, and give a gift to the poor. And that is one thing that we're supposed to do, give a gift to the poor, because we did pass out the gift to each other, and we also passed out gifts to the poor during the Feast of Purim. I remember last year I passed out. I had a brand new coat that I have not even wore. That was still in the sealed package, and I went and gave that out to someone during the Feast of Day of Purim, which we are supposed to give out a gift to someone or the poor. So much love, brothers and sisters. Remember, if you have not watched, if you're just now coming in the last part of this, we closing out. Go and watch the whole full video of this short study, a short briefing of how the Feast of Purim was inaugurated. So it's important that you all watch that, so you know what this is about. It's very detailed. Also, there's let's see, 12 more books, 12 more chapters in the 1611 apocryphal book of the additions to Esther. I believe the addition of Esther or the rest of Esther. Actually, if you have the red book like this, let me show you. If you have this book right here, is the apocryphal book, Cambridge University Apocrypha, King James Apocrypha. If you don't have this book, brothers and sisters, you need to get it. It does have the rest of Esther. Actually, have all the chapters of Esther in there from chapter 1 through 22, where you can go and watch this, read the rest of this, the rest of the part of Esther and the rest of the parts of Mordecai, what happened and why Esther became queen. In this book right here is called The Rest of Esther. So all the chapters, all 22 chapters of the book of Esther is in this book, apocryphal book. 1611, the lost books of the Bible is in the apocryphal book. So your brothers and your sisters need to get one. It's one thing. Another thing I want to do too, if I get everything in order, I want to order a bunch of these books, and those that reach out to me on this channel, that I might be able to send you a book, order a bunch of these and send them out to your address or wherever you stand. So brothers and sisters have a apocryphal book. I need to get this project off the ground so I'll be able to buy apocryphal books, be able to help brothers with fringes and stuff like that. It's something that's really been on my mind to do. to get these pocketbook books for our brothers and sisters who do not have a pocketbook. Because all our people need a pocketbook book. So much love to you, brothers and sisters. I'm closing now. Have a blessed rest of your evening. I know some of our people is going to be watching the Super Bowl. I might watch some of it myself or watch it and eat some food. But you know, I'm not sure. I might watch it. I might not. It all depends. I might do some. I might just decide to do something opposite. But I'm pretty sure I might watch a little bit of it or watch it. You know. But bless you, brothers and sisters. Shalom and peace. Glory to the Most Higher. You are the sons and daughters of the Most Higher, and we keep what? The commandments of the Most High, which he said, my commandments are not grievous, which is not hard to do. Practice make perfect. Keep them, family. Shalom. Bless you all, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Signing out, family. Bless you all. May the Most High keep you. Stay fast on the righteous path and narrow. Let him supply all our needs as it is written. Glory to a higher. Bless you, brothers and sisters. So love y'all. Shalom, family. Shalom. Love y'all, family. Shalom. Glory to a higher. Blessings in the tire and brothers and sisters. Shalom, family. Closing out. Shalom. All right. Shalom, family.